Facebook. Let's get ready for this walk so I can tell y'all this.
Power on.
This thing. Okay. And of course, we'll be hearing from Remembering Slavery. I have Juneteenth t-shirts that I cannot find, y'all. So, okay, let's do this. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. And if you're saying, wow, Vicky, we don't hear the music. It's because, as they said, what is that? That short book says, the best laid plans of mice and men. Ha ha! Well, let me tell y'all, honey, it didn't work out. I thought I'd be able to go through YouTube and put on the song. Yet, our cable provider wants an increase. So they slowed down our internet, so we'll have to pay them extra to speed it back up. On this penal colony, thanks for coming on the walk. My name is Vicky, coming to you live. And okay, let me get the story. Okay, so as I put in the caption, the American Diabetes Association lied to me. But I got to take y'all back first so you can understand where I'm coming from. Now, y'all remember when I told y'all that I worked in the mid-90s for a homeless shelter in Stanford? That's when there was a homeless crisis in Connecticut, New York, etc., etc. Don't like it. Yeah. This is a penal colony. When you take that into account, it all makes sense. Anyway, I was working at a homeless shelter in Stanford, and I got to know the ladies there. The majority of the people there were African American women with their children. And I got to talk to them because when they called or asked me for something, I took care of it. I mean, that's what I was there for. That's what I thought. Because I worked for wealthy people. And when they called me, I came. So I figured, same deal. But I soon found out I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to make them wait. Can you imagine the anxiety of being in a homeless shelter with your kids and you need someone's help, another adult help, and you call, and the protocol is to make you wait? Anyway, so I got to know the ladies because they was always surprised. Oh, Vicky, you on? Oh, good. Oh, Vicky, you on? Oh, good. So I would talk to them, and they taught me a lesson that I forgot. That's where that title is, the Diabetes Association Library. Anyway, I got to know them and talk to them. And of course, I knew their records and stuff like that. So I knew when, like, they had to go to an NA meeting. And I was going on there, oh, so, you know, don't forget your NA meeting, that's so. And they said, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I said, well, no, they have it in the record, you know. And she said, Vicky, when I first came here and they do an intake interview, they ask you questions like, do you casually drink? And she didn't drink, so she said no. Have you done drugs? Have you? She was like, oh, when I was in high school, I smoked a joint. And after the intake and everything, and they gave all the food, remember, that's the trap, and they gave everything and made her feel settled. They told her she had to go to NA. And she said, go to NA. She said, I don't do drugs. But she did admit to smoking a joint in high school. See, this is where the penal colony comes in. I kind of knew that then, but not in the way I know now at 65, because then I was in my 30s. But I kind of knew that, well, they taught me anyway. So I was like, oh. So I have an ex-lady. Now, the ones that did drink, do drugs, you knew. And there's another lady, oh, you know, what are you going to do with the kids? You have to go to an AA meeting. Vicky, I don't drink. Well, in your record it says you do. No, Vicky, when I did the intake, they asked me, have I been known to be a social drinker? And she said, yeah, when she go to a barbecue, something like that, she'll go to bed. So they put her down as an alcoholic. So I'm like, what is going on here? So then y'all gotta remember, the thing that we used to do when I went to the overnight shift, the thing we used to do is we'd have to wake them up in the morning and say, knock on the door, they come down. And you look at me and say, oh, you look a little depressed. And the first time they say, yes, I am, they are put into psychiatrists and they are given prescriptions. When those women started showing me the prescriptions of medication, even in the shelter where space was important because you got these kids, but you really can't leave the medicine out around the kids. It was always up in the, the highest dresser drawer. And when I tell you, filled with medication. Filled. And they never took it. Because it was all for something that wasn't. But in the shelter, and that's what I learned then in my 30s, I was like, you can't be down on your luck in these places. No one was there. Even the lady who got put in the shelter because of a fire had to go to AA meetings because she slipped and told the intake person that when she comes home from work, she likes to have a beer. So then the reason for the fire and her and the kids being in the family shelter was because she was an alcoholic. So I was like, holy shit. How about people being down on their damn luck? Ain't there some category for that? Shit fucking happens? No. Oh, that was the worst job of my life. They would make those women go out and get jobs, taken in places where the trains don't work and stuff. And if they got back late, they would take their kids and turn them over to the state. Then they have, now you ain't got no home. You thought you get a job, get some coins, and get out of this shelter. But now you can't even do that. And of course they gave your kids to the state because you came back late from your job. And no one wants to be responsible for your kids in case something happened. So they wound up with DSS. Now you gotta go because you're no longer a family. And that shelter was a family shelter. So now your kids are in foster care because you don't have a home. You now are thrown into the bowels of hell in big rooms and beds with homeless people, but not people who got a fire and was homeless, not a person lost their job and the shit fell out the bottom. No. And a lot of the ladies used to tell me they were there to get Section 8 because they said even though it took 2.5 or 3 years to get out the shelter, at least they would get Section 8. And that way they would be able to house their kids on the salaries that they could make. But the price, I kept saying, this price is too high for Section 8. This, you may get it, but they may destroy you before you get it. As I said, the woman had a fire. So, now y'all know where my head is. On the intake, how they trip you up the questions, okay. So now I call the diabetes people, Diabetical Association, because I go upstairs after yesterday's walk, and I'm thinking about the song, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make a video and put the song behind it. And I was like, wow. And I was like, wow. What if the Diabetes Association has any videos, anything like that that I could use? So they said, well, of course. Anyway, I called, got Angela, very nice. I said, Angela, I'm just calling because I want to see if you, how can I, get video. I wrote this song and I want to put the song behind it. So she said, she said, what's the name of the song? I told her I'm going to try to save myself. She says, oh, you have diabetes? And I said, no. And you could hear in the air her saying, oh, that's what you're calling us for. So I said, no. She said, oh. She said, diagnosed or undiagnosed? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm calling for fucking videos. Just send me. So I said, look. I've been exercising, take care of myself for years. So then, it's happening too. How old are you? What year were you born? I don't do that. But they know how to get you. So I told her the year. And she said, oh. I said, listen. I just want to get permission to use some video to see what you have so I can use it. I'm going to put it behind the song. I said, because I feel that exercising is a way to combat diabetes. Now, I got to tell y'all real fast that when I was a child, they used to call it sugar diabetes. And I've seen over in my lifetime, people who gave up cane sugar didn't have sugar diabetes. Now, I'm not saying that people ain't born with it. I'm just saying the ones who got it from eating too much sugar. So, she says, oh, I can send the link right out to you. So I gave her my email address and stuff. And she says, would you like to give a donation? And I was like, a typical move for a labeled born and blood inmate criminal like me. I was like, okay, I'm going to donate some money. So then she'll be, they know I'm not calling like an old woman with diabetes and shit. I just want to get the video. So she, reads the email back to me. I'm going to get a link out to you right away, no problem. I was like, okay. So I did the donation. Now, I didn't go look for the email right there because I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was going to go, put my feet up. So afterwards, I started feeling, I was like, oh, open that email if she sent you that information and maybe get some ideas of what you're going to put behind the song. No video. So I said, let me go and see if the money was taken from the account. Money gone. No video. No link. So I was like, damn. I fell for it again. Now somewhere is my name, my age. I know she know I'm African American because a few times I said diabetical. And of course my name Mayfield Camacho. And now I feel, because I know from experience on this penal colony, that now somewhere I'm on the list of the American Diabetes Association as an untested diabetic because of my age. And she had already put together the race. And I see her ignorance because she didn't send me email or nothing. She was like, you dumb old black liar. But we'll take your money. But I'm not sending you no information. Oh, yeah. This part I gotta tell y'all. Y'all can go have your water and stuff like that. This part I gotta tell you. So she says that. I said, exercise, I believe, can really, help manage and control diabetes. Nothing, like I said before. I had to say to her, if they taking your medication, exercise will get the medication around the body. And then she said, oh, yes. Oh, yes. Exercise will move the medication. Y'all, I've been trying to get this song. That's why I talked to it. I have been trying to get this song to play. Here we go. I can't get on the speaker. I can't get on the speaker, y'all. I told y'all I'm having internet problems. Oh boy, but on that speaker it sounds delicious. I gotta run out after the walk. How do you like that? How do you like that? That's Ron. How do you like that? Is that lovely? Is that lovely? Is that lovely? Is that lovely? Let's finish up this walk. So, no link to the videos, but like the women in the shelter, I was tricked, and now I'm labeled. Remember, because I'm an inmate criminal, blood-born, because my ancestors 600 years ago attacked the King of England. So I gotta also be a diabetic, high blood pressure, as per this penal colony. Let's listen to Remembering Slavery. To the same part we listened to yesterday, but I didn't have the FB folks on. I don't know why I stopped it. I usually just jump off. Wait a minute, you're over. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Tippy Cummins' master intended to keep word of freedom from his slaves. But Tippy's mother overheard his scheming and risked her life to spread the news. She said, Mother was working in the house, and she cooked too. She said she used to hide in the chimney corner and listen to what the white folks said. When freedom was declared, Master wouldn't tell her. But Mother, she hear him telling Missus that the slaves was free, but they didn't know it, and he not gonna tell them till he makes another crop or two. When Mother hear that, she said she slipped out the chimney corner and cracked her heels together 4 times and shouts, I's free, I's free. Then she run to the field against Master's will and told all the other slaves, and they quit work. Then she run away.
Stop right then.
She slipped into a big ravine near the house and have them bring me to her. Master, he come out with his gun and shot at Mother. But she run down the ravine and gets away with me.
Mama didn't know where to go. You see, after freedom, though, just like he turned some out, didn't know where to go. That's just where he stayed. Didn't know where to go. Turns out just like, you turn out Karen.
Like prisoners out of prison. They just turn you out.
Did, but when he had been off to the war and come back. But then I didn't know, into the war. I just knew it was gone a long time. All the niggas gathered around and see old Master again. The old Master didn't tell it was free. He didn't tell you that? No, he didn't tell. They waited. I think now they say they wait them 6 months out of that. 6 months. And turn them loose on the 19th of June. That's why, we celebrate that day. Color Schools. Is that right? On the 19th, that's called it. They say that they give them a big gun on the 19th. But now we didn't know. So I don't know how the other side of the folks freedom. We didn't know. They just thought, just feeding us, Just had a long table. And just had just little everything you want to eat, and drink, And now they say that was on the 19th. And everything you want to eat and drink.
No, wasn't no school. And when they started the little school,
Wasn't no school.
people that were slaves.
But these Hatfields in the court, they ignorant. They made sure we couldn't learn nothing, but once we started learning.
My father was dead, and my mother was living. And she had 3, 4 other little children. She had to put them all to work to help take care of the others. We didn't have no property. We didn't have no home. Been slaves all our lives. My mother was a slave. My sister was a slave. Father was a slave.
And they don't know why.
Robert Glenn decided to
600
stay
years
and
ago,
work for his
at that
former
time,
master
400
after
years
his
ago.
freedom came. He decided to wait until the time was right for him to be independent. James Earl Jones as Robert Glenn.
400 at that
Master told
time.
me to catch 2 horses, and that we had to go to Dickinson,
400
which was the county seat of Webster County.
years
On
ago,
the way to Dickinson, he said,
their
"Bob, did
ancestors
you know you were free?"
was
Lincoln said,
lighting up Europe and
"Yours
ruling
from
Europe.
Zion." He went to the Freedmen's Bureau.
And when they were defeated, they were prisoners of war and sent to this penal colony.
I was free, and asked me whether or not
And for
I
them,
wanted to keep living with Moore. I did not know what to do. So I
400
told him
years
yes.
in, and they
A
still
fixed
had
price
no
of
idea
$75 on board.
why they
As
were
said,
enslaved,
salary I
what
should
was
receive
going on.
per year for my work. The Yankee told me
These hideous,
to let him know
hideous
that I was
Hatfield
not
and
paid his
McCoy,
agreement.
Demon Republican, these
I went back
wardens.
home and stayed a year. During the year, I hunted a lot at night. Thoroughly enjoyed being free.
These
I
hideous,
took my freedom
hideous,
by
hideous people.
degrees and remained obedient
Ignorant.
and respectful. But
Not
still
us.
wondering and thinking,
I'm talking about people running this penal colony.
after I retired at night, I made
And the
plan
blood
after
can.
plan. Built air castles
The Hatfields and
as to
McCoys.
what I would do. At this time, I formed a great attachment for the white man, Mr. Atlas Chandler.
I
whom I hunted.
always thought,
He bought my part of the game we caught.
how
Favored me in other ways.
is the
Mr. Chandler
government
had a friend,
that basically
Stewart
focuses
Yarborough, who was an adventurer
on
and
sex
and half brother to my ex
and
master, Mr.
hating
Moore, with whom we were
us.
staying.
How
He
can
is
it be a
responsible
country?
for me taking myself into my own hands.
How could
Getting out of
I
feeling I was still under
even in my
obligations
30s, like I
as
said,
my master
how
business,
is this a
I desired to
freaking
leave the
country?
premises.
A sovereign state?
Mr. Yarborough's son went off to school at a place called
Oh,
Church,
penal
Kentucky,
colony.
and he wanted to carry a horse.
All they supposed to
He
do
also take along
in
some other animals
legislation
for trading purposes.
is move
He
stuff
offered me a new pair of pants to make the
to
trip
keep
for him,
us down,
and I accepted the job.
control the women's
He
vaginas,
gave the horse to his son and started for home.
and make sure all the tax dollars
Back,
and all the
I ran
money
into Uncle Squire
go to the
Yarborough,
people
who once belonged
that's
to
over them.
Hewitt Yarborough.
And they do a good
He
job.
persuaded me to go home with him and go with him to a wedding in Union County, Kentucky. The wedding was 20 miles away, and we walked the entire distance. I had been thinking for several days before I went back home as to just what I should tell Mr. Moore, and as to how he felt about the matter. What would I get?
Hey, Diane.
I almost
We
forgot.
doing hand stuff.
I got home at night, and my mind and heart was full, but I was surprised at the way he treated me. He acted kind and asked me if I was going to stay with him next year. I was pleased. I told him yes, sir, and then I lay down and went to sleep. He had a boss man on his plantation then, and next morning he called me, but I just couldn't wake. I seemed to be in a trance or something. I had recently lost so much sleep,
I used to call
He called me
people
the second
that I work for,
and still
who I know were
I couldn't
ignorant,
get up.
I
He
used to
came
call
in and
them
spanked my head.
boss.
I jumped up and went to work feeding
And he
the
said,
stock
yes,
and
boss lady,
splitting
yes,
wood
boss.
for the day's cooking and
I walk in and
fires.
say, who's the boss
I then
today?
went in and ate my breakfast.
Who's the asshole in control?
Mr. Moore told me to hitch a team of horses to a wagon and go to a neighbor's 5 miles away for a load of hogs. I refused to do so. He called me into the house and asked me what I was going to do about it. I said, I do not know. As I said that, I stepped out of the door and left. I went straight to the county seat
8 pounds. I think I'm coming up too hard.
George Raspy in Webster County for
Uh-oh.
$100
Hold
per
on.
year.
Hold on, I gotta stop it. They'll get me on the song, honey. They'll get me on the song. They'll get me on the song. So, that's it. But if they scam me out of donation money, didn't keep their promise to me about sending me information, do you all really think they being honest with you at them diabetes thing? Because I know they used to call it sugar diabetes. And if you stayed away from the cane sugar, which has destroyed us. Okay, I'm not doing this. I was like, I gotta go shopping. I gotta lift bags. And time is almost up. So, we got to cut it right here. So that was the thing with the American Diabetes Association. I didn't have diabetes. I was talking about exercising to manage and or combat diabetes. As I told her, I didn't have diabetes. I exercised. I became of non-interest. And even when I donated, she took the donation but wouldn't even give me the information. Now I listen to Scam Goddess. I think I've been scammed. Is y'all being scammed by the pharmaceutical peoples? Is they use it because we used to call it sugar diabetes? Stop eating sugar and see. Stop eating sweet things and see. And if you stop eating sweet things and you exercise and you find out you ain't got no diabetes, then you know you have been scammed just like I was. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe. Y'all, I got to run out this morning. If not, it wouldn't have been so choppy. Thanks for coming on the walk. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Thanks.